Hi, Mike here from Clearview Mirrors. Today we're going to do a fitting on a Mitsubishi Pajero. Just before you get started, I'll just run you through the tools that you're going to need to do the job. Quite easy. You need a flat screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a 10mm socket to take the mirror off. Okay, and if you've got some form of hook like that, or even a piece of bent coat hanger will do, that's just to hold the door panel on. You'll see I'll be using an electric screwdriver just for a little bit of extra speed so we can get through this demonstration so I don't bore you too long. Okay, let's get started and get into it, eh? Okay, what we're going to do first here is we're going to pull off some plastic bits and pieces that's on here. If you have a look down here, on the door there's like a plastic cap, right? It hides a Phillips head screw, so we just want to get a little flat screwdriver in there and just remove this plastic cap. It comes off pretty easily. Okay, that's one. And try and make a point of putting all your bits into a plastic container, and that way when you get the door panel and everything back into place, if you've got any bits left over, you'll know that you've done something wrong. The next piece here is take this top cover off here. Now it's got a wire and a speaker in this particular model. I don't know whether they've all got speakers in them or not, but you can see the speaker there. This thing is just held in with a pop clip there, and this piece here just fits over behind the door panel, and it just pushes into place, right? And pops in like that, and it just comes off the same way. So take that off, right? And there's a piece that's come out of there. Pop that back in there. I'll work out how to get this thing back in. Anyway, I'll deal with that in a minute. Okay, you've got that off there now, and you've got this panel that comes down there. Put your little flat screwdriver in here and pop the bottom out from there, and all that just pops out. That exposes a screw that's in here. Okay, now that you've got that screw out, we're going to take 1, 2, 3 screws out of the door panel. And I like to cheat and use the electric screwdriver. Why? Because I can. Okay, 3 screws. Put them in the container. I think it'd probably be a good idea if you go out the car, do that now, hit the pause button, and then when you come back, hit the play, and then we'll do the next step. Now from here, in the bottom of the door down here, there's a light, so that when you're getting out of a night time, you can see the ground. Okay, there's a wire attached to that in the bottom of the door, so we need to take our flat screwdriver here and find the crease underneath the door panel, between there and the steel panel, and just work your screwdriver in there gently. Do it down the bottom, because that way if you manage to scratch your paint for any reason, you're not going to notice it. Okay, put your screwdriver up in there and just give it a little pop, and you'll find that your little popper clips like these here in the door are there. Okay, you've got a couple up the top of the door also. Okay, now you can see the wire in here on the light down the bottom. It's just got like a screw-in fitting on here, and it only turns about a quarter of a turn. Now if you can see my fingers there, you've got to go from this side looking at it, you've got to turn it clockwise. Okay, and then you'll see it'll come out, you see the globe there. Okay, once you've got that out, right, the door panel's pretty much hanging then. You've got to, sometimes you'll get a popper clip up in here, but on the front side of the door. I've got to make sure that that one's out, right? And of course, me rushing with this, I forgot to take the screw out up here as well, so make sure you get that out. I should have done that in our first step. Okay, now you've got to that stage, right? You want to get this door panel off. And I found the easiest way on most of the others, like the Land Cruisers and the Nissans and all the rest of the 200s, sort of push them down here. But for some reason or other, I found this one's much easier to take off by working from the front first. Okay, and it just comes out like that. Now you'll find that you've still got loom and everything attached here, and that's why we use the hook. Okay, so pop the hook in there like that, hook it over this edge of the door panel, and just let it hang like that. Okay, it should sit there okay. Then we take the connector out here, and you can see there's like a little lever there to take that connector out. Okay, pretty easy. It just flexes down like that, right? And it's the same when you push it back in. You just clip it in and pull it out. Okay, you've only got 3 screws. You don't need to take this one out here. You only need to undo those 3 bolts. So once again, I'm going to cheat, okay, and I'm going to use a little rattle gun. Now, take the 2 bottom ones out first. Once again, put your screws in your tub. Put your hand behind here to hold your mirror so it doesn't fall off and damage your Durco. Alright, take that out. Put your screw into your container so you don't lose it. If you've got somebody there that can give you a hand, well, that's a bonus. Alright, pop that back there and take your mirror off. Alright, simple. Go outside, go and do that, and when you come back we're going to put the other our Clearview mirrors on. Okay, now that you've got your original Mitsubishi mirror off, okay, you've got the 3 bolts that came with it, okay, the 3 that held it onto the door. Just screw those back into your mirror, right, and then put them aside so that if for any reason you decide you're going to sell the car and you want to take the mirrors off, you've always got the original bolts and everything. We use our own screw-in studs into the mirrors, and we put nuts onto the base of our mirrors. Now, as you can see, this mirror here is a non-indicator type mirror, because on this model the Mitsubishi's got the indicator down here in the fender. Okay, and right, all vehicles need to have a side indicator in them. What we're going to do here is we're going to fit a mirror up with an indicator in it. Now, this particular car, for some reason or other, Mitsubishi's have included the wiring here into the loom with indicators and everything already there, but they don't fit it up into the mirror. So I guess if they're doing the top of the range and they want to put an indicator mirror in it, that the wiring's already in place to do that. So there's an option there. If you want an indicator in your mirror as an optional extra, you can do that. We supply them here, and that's what we're going to do here for Brian today. We're going to fit an indicator into his car for him. So here's the mirror we're using. Okay, and this is how it comes, and we've got extra wires in there, as you can see in the loom. Those extra wires there, the blue and the yellow, are for indicators. So we're going to take these nuts off the studs, and I like to use steel studs screwing into an aluminium base because it's a lot stronger when you've got a heavier mirror, which is what ours is. So it's a lot easier if you've got somebody to help you do this, but it is simple enough to do on your own. Line up your holes, reverse the procedure for putting them on, like do your top one first. Now, when you put these on, before you go and do them up, make sure that the sealing rubber that we've provided here, right, is seating properly on the outside of the mirror, okay? And you can do that simply by just pulling that lip out on the outer edge of here, and that just keeps any water out from your mirror when you're fitting it. And push her up nice and tight so that the rubber and everything seats. And once you get that rubber and everything over that edge there, just do your nuts and everything up finger tight, and make sure that it all pulls up evenly. And then you can nip it up, and you find that you should have a really nice fit down here. And then just go along and just gently nip all that up. Try and do them evenly. Okay, and then we'll plug our electrics in, feed the wire down here out of the way where it's hidden a little bit so it doesn't get in the way. Make sure you put that connector up the right way, otherwise it won't work. And then when you get to this point here, what you need to do is fold your mirror out, okay, and just check to make sure that your electrics work okay. That's out, in, up and down, and you should have an indicator. Okay, now with that done, we're going to go back and reassemble it. So hit the pause button, go outside, do what I just showed you to do, and then come back and hit the play button again. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to put our door panel and everything back on, make sure that all your wires and everything are tucked away nice and neatly here so that they don't get caught up on anything. Okay, push this thing in there for the moment, over the top. Get rid of your hook. Right, and then what we're going to do is, you see you've got a hook on the door panel here. Well, that's got to go over that little horseshoe there. So we need to try and make sure that you get that hooked over properly and seat your door panel down correctly in here. And that's not hooked in there, so take that off again. Okay, that's good. Pop that back in over there. Okay, and now that you've got your door panel and everything seated correctly, it should sit down pretty nice. Don't forget to hook your wiring back up down here, as I showed you before when we disconnected it. Find the hole in there, okay, and then just turn it anti-clockwise, looking at it from this way. Okay, what we're going to do now is just push the door panel up and just give it a tap like that, and it should come home. Now what we're going to do is we're going to reverse the operation of the screws, and we'll put the screws and everything back in there. Okay, so we've got a couple of those, right, and we've got the big one. Let's do the big one first in the centre here. That holds all your door panel and everything in place there. Okay, that's good. And then we'll do these two here. Remember that the bottom one here is a different screw, and it's got a washer on it that plastic cap seats over. Screw that up like that. Put this one in here. Do the one up here that I forgot to take out before. Okay, don't over tighten them. And then pop this little plastic cap back on again. It's just got like a little lip on the end of it. Right. It should go on with a little bit of a click. And And we've got to put that in. It just pushes back into place. All right, and then we're pretty much good to go. We know the mirror works. That's the finished product there. We just take all this cellophane and everything off the chrome, which we put on there so that the chrome doesn't get knocked about. And that's the finished product. We've got a microfiber cloth here which does a beautiful job on chrome work. And, that's the fit and everything around the door. And you can see that the mirror looks pretty nice, and it's certainly robust. And when you are ready to go tow your caravan, that's all you need to do. Right? If the mirror gets a whack, right, it'll fold back here, it won't touch your door, there's still room there. And if it gets a hit forward, right, it won't go back and forward and hit your car either. So it'll come around to there, that's your driving position there. You'll have a little bit of backward movement here in the door. That's the tolerance that we put into the pin in here to locate the arm. And I think you'll find that that'll do the job pretty nicely for you. Okay, thanks for taking the time to watch our DVD.